Okay, I see. So we got your header here, and then over here
Yeah.
is your go to app. So that's kind of like your login. Um,
Yeah.
that's going to give you, okay, so that kind of indicates there's some premium information there.
Yeah.
We could start by kind of creating a like a header and then just kind of a placeholder for
Yeah.
um, what the, what might go there. Um, so let's just bring up this and we can hear. Do like we could do like a link bar and just put, we got learning, giving, connecting. We'll just kind of drop that there for now, and then we got donate and go to app. Um, and then this one's over here for now.
Yeah.
We got donate right now that says. So that's going to be your kind of your logged out experience.
Mhm.
And so let's assume that now they are logged in,
Yeah.
and maybe this is going to be um, kind of a new little mini navigation area that says like profile, log out. Maybe maybe this something is going to say their username or something,
Yeah.
and then we will maybe show that so that's not a link. Kind of put that in here. So now, um, let's see. So now we've got a little indicator that this is a logged in user,
Yeah.
um, and you want to then. This is kind of our curated content area. So maybe let's just do a heading that, you know, uh,
Yeah.
maybe
For
eventually it'll have a different name, but it's kind of our
placeholder, yeah, you can have
kind of our.
some
Hmm.
name,
Right, right. Um,
pithy, and that our marketing person
right,
creates.
right, right. And so is this if we kind of design a nice way to present this information, assuming that information is already in the system, is that something that would be useful?
Yeah, I think like that, and how to, like, what is the best way to kind of display different types of media that's like accessible to people and not overwhelming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're gonna have different types of things in here. Um, just like relevant news articles. Let me. I have a list of stuff that. Hold
Okay.
on. That we kind of wanted in there, which was like, come on, my internet is being a little bit. So yeah, I think like some kind of like curated, relevant news, some different media like videos, videos that have exclusive content on them, like stuff that's kind of published by the faculty. So that would be more like either in PDF form, um, and then also just like having kind of pictures and stuff from different events and classes in here. And I just like
Mm-hmm.
that many different types of media. I'm not sure really how to display that in a way that like it isn't overwhelming to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a giant list of links and all different, I, like what is a way to make that someone would come in here and be like, okay, this is intuitive and I like the look and feel of this.
Right, right. That's great. Yeah, it's really useful to know like how much information is going to be there because it's a big difference if you're going to have 5 or 5,000, and then you make a good point about having different types of material. So a
Yeah.
PDF might be something they're going to have to download, whereas other things maybe a story from an event is going to have kind of be more like a blog post, maybe,
Yeah.
where you're having pictures and words kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
Are they going to want to like filter this by certain info? What?
Yeah,
Um,
I guess I'm wondering, like, yeah, if it makes sense to also have some sort of like search feature in there,
mm-hmm,
right? Like,
mm-hmm,
um, if you're going to have, I don't think it'll be thousands, but there might be, 100. No, I mean, at some point, 100 things, and you might want to either search or filter down what.
okay, I think we're back. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Do you want? Should I? Let me try turning off my video. That might help.
okay, that might help. Let's
Yeah.
see if that's better. Okay. Um, and then I'll just go full screen on this then. Um, all right, so yeah, so lots of different information. What's a reason that they might want to search or filter? Is it because they're looking for something in particular? Are they going to look for a certain type of information? I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
think like looking for something in particular. So like we have a lot of frameworks, which are like different ways of like stuff that our faculty have published that might be frameworks on how to be a responsible giver. And I'm assuming you might see a video on a professor talking about that and then want to find that framework. Uh,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
which the framework is probably a PDF, and you might see the faculty give an interview in the video. Uh,
mm-hmm.
so I guess that's kind of what I was thinking, like either by name or keyword or something like that.
Got it, got it. And do you think this is going to be like will there be a limited number will there be, say, like less than five things that they might want to kind of narrow it down by, or might it be a little bit more advanced than that?
You mean like I mean, I don't think there's going to be thousands of things in here. So I think as long as there's a way to kind of filter, like, get it down so that if I type in Rise framework, I think there'd be 4 or 5 things that might say that, which is one of our frameworks, or Rise or something.
Mm-hmm. So,
Um,
so you think a lot of it might be kind of search driven? I mean, because you
yeah,
can also, one of the like a usability principle is um, recognition, not recall. So it's kind of like giving people options, kind of like tags or kind of categories or something like that, where they can maybe filter by a certain um, type of information, maybe as well as a search. But if they can
yeah,
just do one click and just show only certain types of information, might be useful.
yeah. I think that would be like there might be 3 or 4 things for each type of. So, like for example, videos. It could be like I would imagine it might be interviews might be one type of video, and we have other videos that might be like speeches or events or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So, but that might be videos. PDFs might be 3 or 4 things. That's either framework or curriculum or so each of those. So maybe there's like a section in each of those. The filter is one of those 4 things. Does that
Got it.
help?
Got it. I
Yeah.
think so. I think what I'm leaning towards is maybe having kind of a big way to search, and then um, maybe something that's kind of like a sidebar filter, like if you're on eBay or something like that, and you kind of want to drill down into
Mm-hmm.
things a little bit. So use kind of like a two-column layout where maybe you can have your main content kind of here, but then you can might have some options here, kind of like if you're looking to book a flight or something like that, and you want to drill down by, or you want to kind of restrict it to certain airlines or
Yeah.
times or something like that. Um, so let's. Um, I'm just thinking out loud a little bit here. So let's just kind of start with this like kind of checkbox idea where you can uncheck some things in order to remove them. So What would you say are some of the, say I'm looking at everything, what is that showing me in terms of categories?
Yeah, I think frameworks would be a big one.
Okay.
Um, I think, interviews would be like videos, interviews. Uh, like maybe it's news stories or like, yeah, something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
And is the type of information, is that kind of linked to the format of it? So like, are all interviews going to be videos, and are all videos going to be interviews? You know what I'm saying? Like, are all
Yeah, I
PDFs going
mean,
to?
I would imagine that's the case.
Okay, okay, that's useful then. That's useful.
Um, yeah. I don't totally know what the other stuff would be. I think, the other thing, instead of like, it might be like there might be podcasts or recordings or audio
Mm-hmm,
file.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, I think another thing we thought about is like, syllabi or teaching toolkits, which will be kind of PDF format.
Okay. Okay, that's useful. Um, and okay, so do you? Okay, so one other question here. One thing
Yeah.
that we've been using a lot lately that I like is this idea of like, in user interface terms, it's called a card. So it's kind of like it's like a square. Uh, I'll show you what we've been doing a lot, where you kind of have, when you have a list of things, you can have kind of a preview of it. So like if you look at our blog, they're kind of, you can have tags and a little description and a picture. And so these all collectively are kind of called a card. So you can have multiple pieces of information in the format that you can kind of use across different types of information. So this could be a blog post. These are articles. You could have the same thing if you're going to have a video. Um, you could use cards as kind of giving a preview to that video or something like that. So it's nice that because you can apply the same layout to different
Media.
types of media. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
So that's
I think
something that yeah, go ahead.
I think it looks really clean, which is
Mm-hmm.
like organized and, not overwhelming.
Okay, okay, great. Yeah, one of the downsides is that if you really wanted to make it, is that it does require an extra click to go into the content. So if
Yeah.
it's just simply a link that you want somebody, or a PDF that you want to download, you don't want somebody to click on it and then have there be nothing but just a link to download it. Or um, so it kind of, I mean, but then again, if it's a video, somebody clicks on it and then all of a sudden they're watching the video, and that's what you
Right.
want to happen. So, um, and so some of these, like if it's a story, I assume that can be an article. So these,
Mhm.
um, and the PDFs, maybe you can even embed them in the page or
Yeah. I
something.
mean, we can make them also just into web pages too
Hmm,
and
hmm.
do it that way.
Um, okay, do you want to try to kind of like put something together and see what that might look like?
Yeah.
It's kind of this like card-like layout, so we can do maybe a kind of a grid of 3 or something like that, and then uh, so we could do the name, and then maybe because I think that pictures really work. So
Yeah.
having, and this can be done like if you have a blog, for example. This image right here is called the featured image, and it's just kind of a something in the
Yeah.
CMS where you can upload a picture, a preview picture, um, and then so for even if you have a video or whatever you have, you can just grab um, a little
Featured
thumbnail,
image. Yeah.
yeah, featured image
Yeah.
for it. Um, and then yeah, maybe you could, maybe it'd be good to have a little description of it, you know, because if you want to make it engaging and interesting,
Yeah, you
then
have like a sentence on what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just,
Now, can I ask you a question about the this layout?
uh-huh.
So, would you just recommend having it kind of stack on top of each, like have it it's going three across and then all the way down the page to infinity, or have some type of like that this would be, you know, the you'd have three across with a little scroll bar that was your videos, and then below that was, you know, your news articles or whatever it is. How way to display that your
Um,
experience from kind of a user experience.
yeah, that's an excellent question, and of course the answer is it depends. You know,
And
if you have something like a blog, you know, it's going to be more chronological with the newest information on top. But if
yeah,
you but it doesn't have to be that way, and it maybe you want it kind of segmented by the different types of categories. So what makes something kind of like stand out, or what is a good way to order, both order and group them?
yeah.
Do you have thoughts on that?
Uh, I think to me it would depend on what type of media it is. Like
Hmm.
news, it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chronological. Also, probably like blogs, chronological. Frameworks, it's probably, you know, the most robust and the best developed you want up front.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
similar, I think for the interview, you probably want like the most informative or the best interviews, even if they
Mm-hmm.
were a little older than some of the more recent stuff.
So these different categories seem pretty distinct to me. Do you think it would be better to have like separate pages for each of these? Like if somebody's coming in, are they going to be looking at all the different categories or multiple categories, or do you think that they're really their primary use case is that they're drilling in on a certain category?
I think, yeah, I think to me, it's maybe a both and. Like, I don't think we're going to produce enough content that, you know, that necessarily will even have more than one to two things new a week, right? We might only have a
Mm-hmm.
few things new a week. And if that's the case, if you have separate pages for each, it might be kind of depressing for people to go on and realize, oh, some of these things aren't that new all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see, like, if you're really wanting to figure out like what a framework to use for, you know, your collective giving circle, you're not going to care that you know, you're not going to want to look through the interviews and the news stories and all that. You're, you know, you might want to go directly to that page.
Right,
uh,
right.
so I wonder if there's like even a preview page before, like, that has all the stuff, and then you can drill in deeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. You know, having them on separate pages would allow you to kind of make it seem a little bit more special, a little bit more interesting. Like here's our dedicated area, and we have these frameworks, and these are, you know, this is really kind of what this premium information is about.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if then you could have another page where you could kind of highlight like what's new or something like that, and then link over to that. I wonder if that might be um, a
yeah.
better idea.